Hi guys, it's Jessica Hayes. So today I have a tutorial for a fall autumn kind of inspired look. This originally was, this is inspired by pumpkin spice latte. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the pumpkin spice latte at all, but it's just more so inspired by the colorings of it. I did a photo shoot for Kellogg's the other day and they gave me a pumpkin spice mini wheats, so I've just had pumpkin spice on my brain since then. So yes, fall is coming, so I thought I would do the obligatory fall and autumn look. This is like kind of a spin on, you know, a look that I do love to wear a lot. Those orange kind of cracky eyes and, you know, a grayish brown toned lip. I think this is definitely going to be one of my go-to looks for fall, and I just like the little hint of white eyeliner just to give it a little bit of difference. So if you want to see how I created this look, keep watching and I will show you how. So I've already started out with a little bit of soft ochre paint pot all over my lid, and I'm actually going to be using for this look the Viseart palette. This is the neutral matte palette. This one I'll link below where you can purchase this one. You can buy it on Sephora. Just a heads up before you fall in love with it, it is very expensive. It's $80 and it's kind of, you know, a smaller palette, but the shadows in it are just amazing. They're all handmade in France. It's been a huge hit amongst a lot of professional makeup artists now. So if you do have the Stila in the No palette though, the colors are pretty much exact dupes for it. This just blends a little more silkier. None of these colors have names, so what I'm gonna do is just start off by popping a mixture of these two just all over the lid. I'm gonna be using this big bad boy to put it on super lazy. Just love this brush because it gets on super quick, does the job, does the trick. Patting that all over the lid and just leaving this kind of blank in the corner as well, because that's where we're gonna pop the darker kind of orange color. So this color right here is the color that I'm gonna be using through the crease. I'm gonna be using this Morphe M511 brush for that. Just pop that on the tip. Just back and forth. Absolutely love all of these orangey toned smoky eyes for fall. These are, I mean, I pretty much wear them all year round. Let's be honest, I'm not gonna lie here. But yeah, they just, I don't know, it reminds me of more of a fall kind of look. And I think they look great. Oh my gosh, they make blue eyes pop so well. But even for me, I have hazel eyes. Well, the orange just really makes the green in the eyes pop. And it kind of reminds me of like fall leaves anyways. So just using that big soft fluffy brush just to kind of diffuse that into the crease of the eye, not going too high up. The brush is actually doing most of the work for you. And then once we've got that kind of blended, I will dust whatever's left on the brush just kind of up to the brow bone, just so it diffuses nicely. I'm just going to pop a little bit of MAC Teddy underneath the lower lash line. Going to keep that pretty snug to the lashes. As a general rule of thumb, I always like to blend out and then press a powder over creamy kind of pencils underneath the lower lash line. I find that, you know, setting it with the powder is just like setting your foundation with powder. It's gonna set it and make it last a lot longer. So when I do a color underneath the eyes, I always make sure I set it with some kind of powder as well. So this time I'm gonna be using that darker orange that we used in the crease, and I'm just using this little Smith 253 Arrowhead brush, and I'm just gonna buff that along the lower lash line. You know, this eye look was kind of inspired by pumpkin spice lattes, just the colors or whatever. I thought, hey, that'd be a really cool idea, and then I googled it and like a million people had already done it on YouTube, but I thought I'd do my own spin on it. So I want to make sure that's super blown out underneath. I'm just going to get a clean 230 brush and just buff that along the line that we just made, just so it's definitely nice and diffused. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of that darker brown color in the palette just to the outer crease of the eye. So now we're going to do a winged white liner on top. I'm going to be using the Kat Von D ink liner in Neruda. So I'm going to start off just kind of on the outside corner of the eye. If it does start to get a little bit too much on the tip, just give it a little wipe off on your hand and just kind of like almost push more ink into the tip of it. Now that the liner's done, I'm just going to do a little bit of mascara. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and really building it up. One of my followers actually mentioned on a few videos back that I totally go into beast mode when I'm putting my mascara on, and it's absolutely true. Ever since she said that, I've been noticing how crazy I get with my mascara. I'm always, you know, removing specks off my face, so I did go a little crazy in here, and I'm just gonna use that pen and just dab it over those little spots just to try and cover that up. So now that I've fixed my mascara mistakes, I'm just gonna go underneath the eyes and pop a little bit of this Charlotte Tilbury Retoucher. What I've been doing, because most of the time when I do underneath my eyes, I'll like wipe off all my concealer. So I've just been saving the expensive stuff for when I know that it's actually gonna stay on my eyes. So I've been using the NYX Cheapy HD concealer, and then just popping a little bit of this under the eyes just for a little bit of highlighting and brightening and, you know, any extra concealer needs that I might have. But actually for doing my foundation first, that Viseart palette, like, check that out. It didn't even fall out at all. So that's what you get when you pay $80 for a tiny eyeshadow palette. You know, you don't have to worry about things like fallout. I think I'm gonna go ahead, if I can open it. Help! So I'm gonna pop a little bit of this Crown Chubby eye pencil. This is Metal Frost. Just a tiny touch on the inner corner of the eye. That's pretty. This isn't something that I really do all the time. I really don't know why, because it does look good, but it's one of those things that I don't know. There's no explanation for it. When I like something, sometimes I just kind of tend to put more and more on and more and more. Oh, this looks good, let's add more. I'm gonna be using some of the new Makeup Forever products that I got. I'll be using this, don't mind it's broken, Pro Sculpting Duo for my bronzer and highlight, or contour and highlight. I wanted to do this kind of bronzy shade just because, you know, it's got a little more warmth to it. So just add a little color to the face. I actually have the Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation on now, and I'm really liking it. So leave me a comment below if you guys want me to do a time test on that formula. So using the same brush, the Smith 118, I'm going to grab that highlight color and just go ahead and put way too much on. Is there such a thing as way too much highlighter? So I'm going to be taking this Makeup Forever HD blush in 225 and that same Smith Cosmetics brush, because this is a duo fiber, so it actually works really good with cream products. And I'm just going to pat that onto the apples of the cheeks just for a little bit of color. I love these high definition blushes because they have got a creamy texture to them, but they don't give a wet look in that area. So some of the cream blushes, you know, they're very moist. They will actually pick up texture on the skin. So just patting that into the apples of the cheeks. So to top off the pumpkin spice latte look, I'm actually going to be using Posh Spice from Jeffree Star on my lips. I just recently got this color, and you know, I'm obsessed with the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. I really like the brush on them. They give a really good application and last super long on. So that completes my finished autumn fall look. I actually ended up adding lashes altogether in the end, and you want to make sure that if you do add lashes that you get them really close to the lash line, because you don't want to have them, you know, covering up the white liner that you did or just making a big old mess. So I hope you guys liked this pumpkin spice latte-ish fall kind of inspired look. I love doing these orangey kind of eyes, and obviously, you know, most of the time I have a grayish kind of brownish tone lip on. If you had have told me 5 years ago that I was going to be obsessed with brown lips, I would have very much so been in disbelief, because I hated brown back then, but now I love it. The orange on the eyes is going to make hazel eyes pop, it's going to make green eyes look amazing, brown eyes look beautiful with this color as well, and obviously blue eyes just look absolutely insane with this orangey kind of color on. If you guys get a chance to recreate this look, make sure you tag me on Instagram and use my hashtag Jessicahazemua, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.